Right, yeah, you just want to introduce yourself, Nath, who you are and where you're from.
I'm Nathan Crisfield and I'm from Peak Shape, Albury.
Right, we'll start from the beginning, mate. What was life like for you growing up?
Life for me growing up probably wasn't like normal, maybe, whatever normal is, but definitely wasn't bad. So dad was an interstate truck driver.
Mhm.
Mum was stay-at-home mum / bookkeeper.
Yep.
So dad was away all week,
Mhm.
and mum still often worked afternoons. So probably from sort of late primary school, I was home alone after school a lot on my own.
Yep.
And so I probably got to a little bit of mischief around the house. But I got very used to my own company, I suppose,
Yeah, okay.
now that I look back.
Yep.
Loved helping dad on the truck, washing the truck. I was just all about trucks back
Mhm.
then. And that was kind of, and that was pretty much my childhood, spending a lot of time around trucks.
Yeah, right. What sort of environment were you in as a teen, and how did that sort of shape what path you went down there?
Interesting environment, I suppose. This is probably where it does get a little less normal than, say, a lot of teenage journeys.
Mhm.
Because things got pretty gnarly at home between mum and dad. I guess now I have a bit more awareness. I was kind of like looking for a scapegoat or a way out.
Yep.
I was playing footy around that 12, 13 year mark, I think, but that kind of came with like getting introduced to alcohol.
Yeah, right.
Pretty heavily on a weekend. We'd drink a lot,
Mhm.
quite young, and I was still going to school.
Yeah, right.
So I was doing that behind mum and dad's back. But then I started to go off the rails at school in probably, I was never really great at school, but really went off the rails in sort of around year 8.
Mhm.
And I ended up getting kicked out of school or asked to leave just before my 15th birthday. So
Yeah, right.
term 2, year 9.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Which is, quite young, I guess. To the school's credit, they just said, look, we just can't control you. It's not working out. And then they actually did find me an apprenticeship to try for.
Yeah, okay.
Which was as a diesel mechanic.
Mhm.
And like divine timing or whatever. And universe, like my dad took me to the interview, and the guy doing the interview, my dad knew really well.
Yeah, right.
So I was just a shoo-in for that job.
Yep.
But I guess being 15 and out in the workforce, and the job was in Albury and we lived in Howlong, so they're about 20 minutes travel apart, and mum couldn't take me, so it was on me to like catch one of the latest school bus runs in to get to Dean Street to then walk to South Albury to that job.
Yeah, right. Yep.
So there's a little bit involved in that job, and like I was a kid hanging around with a bunch of grown men, probably not getting influenced that well.
Yep.
And around sort of that time, mum and dad were kind of on and off together, and dad was still living in the house on a weekend when he come home, but he was kind of getting up to no good, knocking shit off the back of trucks, which is kind of was like, I guess from like 13 onwards was kind of what I was getting exposed to.
Yeah, right.
He'd take me with him. That was our father-son bonding activity.
Wow. Yeah, right.
Go and knock some shit off the back of trucks, and that kind of, I guess, put me on the wrong path from a point of view of what's right and wrong. And like, I guess his theory was always like, well, you got to take opportunities, and I have to do this for us to get by, was his justification. So I kind of picked up those justification methods.
And no different.
Yeah, no different. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, right. Yeah. Wow. When did you feel like things started to go off the rails for you? And what do you think a teenage self of yourself would think of you now?
Tracking it back to going off the rails, definitely comes back to like when I started to consume drugs, and I would have been like just on 15, and that was like a weekendly thing, and that built over a 10-year period pretty quickly into like every day.
Yeah, right.
But it kind of went off the rails when I started. I was probably like 16 when I started to like sub a little bit on the side, and I got a taste for that living outside the box, I suppose, like not conforming to the 9 to 5. And I kind of chased that all the way down to the point where selling drugs, stealing cars was my now job.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
But you go back to sort of when I was 16 and like when I got that taste for it, and without that influence that I probably missed earlier on, like that mentor, everyone I looked up to was older, much older, 15 years older, but taking drugs.
Yeah. Okay.
Drive around in fast cars and doing like living.
Yep.
Like how they like living. It's a lot of fun, but
Yep.
has consequences when you take it as far as like I chose to. But yeah, track it back to 16, and then all the way up to that mid-20s where I just all care, no care, no responsibility, sort of attitude.
Yep.
No fear for consequences.
Yeah. Okay. Did you ever feel like you got to that life that you were chasing all that time, or you just always could see that you just wanted more?
Everyone will say I always want more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still do.
Yeah.
No, I never reached the pinnacle. By the time I went to jail, I definitely felt like I had more to build in that criminal career.
Yeah. Right. So that didn't deter you at all. That just fed you, really.
Yeah, it just made me hungrier to like achieve more in that life.
Yeah. Right.
So the ambition is always there, but it was pointed at all the wrong stuff at that point in time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And your second question was,
what would a teenage self of you say about you now? Do you reckon, or describe how you are now? Obviously, your teenage self you wouldn't have been looking up to someone like you where you are now.
If I can, the one I would pick, there's so many I could think, but a leader would be the one that's probably stands out, and the one that I work the most. I spend the most time on being that version of myself.
Yeah. So you've spoken about taking drugs, stealing cars, even escaping from jail at one point. What was that part of your life really like?
Almost like what it is now, chaos.
Yep.
Organised chaos. Look, there's the waves that you go through are not unlike business in the fact that there's highs and lows.
Yep.
It's just that the lows are so much darker, probably, because it's definitely not. There's definite parallels between my journey as a business person now and that 100% in that life.
Yep.
But my mindset at that point was just so like, risk it all, and I was like, I guess my unique selling point in like that lifestyle was that I genuinely didn't care if I lived or died.
Yeah, right.
So I would go and do things that like other people wouldn't. And I was so hungry to like do more.
Yep.
And enhance my skill set as like a criminal, I suppose you'd call it. If that was my identity then.
Did you do that to get like better known to people, or just for your own sake and for the drugs and the money? And
when you break it down, and I've done a little bit of work with this on younger men now, in some mentoring groups that I've run.
Yep.
My opinion on this is that our mindset is that we're seeking status as young men.
Yep.
And our ego drives a great deal of our decisions.
Yeah. Yep.
And that notoriety and self-worth comes through committing those acts. And far too often, drug use is blamed for the scale of the crimes people are committing.
Yep.
Like, definitely drug use exacerbated my behaviour, but it wasn't the driving force and the reason behind my mindset to go and do those risky things.
Yeah, right. Yep.
It was 100% driven by
ego,
self-worth, notoriety, and status.
Yep. So you're in that lifestyle and you just want to be the best of it, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, right. Was there a moment or a situation in that lifestyle that made you realize you needed to change?
Yeah, 100%. So I've recounted this story in my head so many times when I've had to, coach someone through something or walk myself through a new level of, just to drive my vision probably, like when I need to tap into, belief to go and do the next thing.
Yep.
And there was a moment, so after I escaped from Beechworth, I'd absolutely fucked up at that point. But there was a moment, once I got shifted back to a maximum security prison after being recaptured, that I was walking around the yard and I'm going, fuck, I've really fucked this up, haven't I? And I remember walking the basketball court in the yard at Port Phillip prison and I'm going, I've got to do something with this. All this shit I've done over the last few years is absolutely wasted. All the, the trauma, like what it's caused me, what it's caused my family, is pointless if I don't do something with it.
Yep.
And that was, I think it's been just on 7 years. So 7 years, 1 month since I've been released. And this is the first time I can say I'm doing that thing.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm using it to do something.
Yep.
To help other people, and it's powerful,
So it was just that moment. So you're obviously sober because you were locked up and didn't have access to that outside world that you were thriving for, and then you just realised that this is not right.
Yeah, because you get two choices in prison.
Yep.
Some blokes will continue to use and escape the reality of where you are.
Yep.
Like I never understood why people would use drugs in jail. Like drugs just were a means to an end for me. Like just helped me stay awake longer to do more things, and like also they were fun to me. Whereas once you got two choices, you either sit in the shit you've done and what got you there, and your perspective is your reality at that point.
Yep.
You're only looking at a concrete wall, or you can completely escape from it the entire time you're there, but you're not doing anything
that's going to help you on the outside
help
world.
you on the outside to get anywhere. So I was lucky enough that like I'm really good at sitting in my pain.
Yep.
Always have been. And I just sat in it, and that was just one of the thoughts. And then, I remember doing that, going, I've got to do something with this. And I remember walked back into the unit, and I went over to a little computer screen, and I just started enrolling in every single course that was available. And anything that came across our desk that was like a course or something that would get me out of the unit to like fill in my time, I did. And now that I do so much personal development now, maybe that was like the skill I learned from that. So always looking for something that I can learn from, I can grow from.
What was the hardest part about breaking those habits and leaving that life behind?
Firstly, it would be shifting the identity. You build a narrative in your head. We all do it. And it's formed by our past and our experiences. And that's where like your limiting beliefs will come from. Fixed mindset, growth mindset. And at that point in time, when I got released, I felt fucking anxious and depressed because all I wanted was to feel good again.
Yep.
And ultimately, the quickest way to do that would have been to just go back to what I was doing, because they're the people I know. That's where I'm comfortable.
Yep.
I don't actually know what stopped me doing that. Probably the only real reason would have been my son.
Yep.
Just here I am. My worlds are colliding. Like I can't be a dad and do that.
No. Yep.
And here's my son that I've spent no time with because I was in prison pretty much from the time he was born.
Yep.
And my mum pushing that on me, I suppose, and my family pushing that on me to like do better. And all the work I'd done in there could easily be undone.
Yep.
Or I could use it for power and to change someone else's life and change my own life.
Yep.
That was like that world colliding where your identities are just you got to form a whole new identity.
Wow. Yeah. Right.
Which that's
let go of all the contacts and everyone you knew in that past life, and
and it's isolating, it's lonely, it's like easily the worst tooth. It was easier being in jail than it was those 2-3 years being out.
Yep.
You're just alone the whole fucking time.
You touched on being like your son and being a dad. It's probably safe to say that your father wasn't always the best influence on you. Have you used that as fuel and motivation to be a better father yourself?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and I've said this to my dad plenty of times. It's probably really mean, but like the best thing he did for me was show me what not to do. And he'll admit to that.
Yep.
And we've talked about it. Like we're still close.
Yep, that's good.
And my choices are my choices. But it was 100%. It wasn't straight away when I got out, but it was definitely, once again, same as that prison yard story, like just me on my own so much and just thinking about what I'm going to do, just all the thoughts. And like what I kind of came to was that like I have a ability here to break a cycle. And then that kind of spurred me to the next thing of like, all right, well, how am I going to break that cycle? What am I going to do better than what I was taught?
Yep.
And yeah, safe to say that focus being on my son mostly has then allowed me to tap into roles as a leader and a mentor, and now sort of, put that out through my business and through any other channel. Anyone who wants advice, like I'm very open to it on socials.
Yep.
Anyone who pulls me up in the street, which does happen from time to time. Always happy to like give the odd bit of advice.
Yep.
Based on what they're dealing with. But that moment and looking back at what my dad did, and I'm going, I just got to do everything opposite to this and we'll be fine.
Yeah, right. All right, on a bit of a lighter note now, really interesting backstory you got there, and it's able to flow that into what you built here with Peak Shape. But a bit of a fun one before we get into that. 3 dinner guests. We asked all our guests this one. Who you got, dead or alive?
Dead or alive? Toby Pierce is one of them.
Yep.
I'm a real fanboy of him. Mark Burris.
Yep.
And the owner of the coaching academy that I'm with, Andrew Hendoza. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Right. Nice combination.
Yeah.
Yep. Mark Boris would be a good one.
Yeah, he's such a weapon, man. And the things he does for the business community are like so cool. And you only got respect for him. And when you listen to him interview people, he's so great at just getting on anyone's level. Like such a really cool bloke, I think.
Yeah, no, he's really good. When did the idea for Peak Shape come to mind?
So I didn't Peak Shape as a brand. I've been on board with since the start, but one of my mates started a gym in this space here called Revamp, and I did a few shifts here. At that point, like I had no license still, so I was like riding a bike everywhere. Still couldn't get a full-time job because I was still like kind of on parole. So I kind of just got my certificate, did a few shifts here.
Yep.
Didn't actually know if I could do like personal training or anything as a job. I really didn't know.
Yep.
But then I started my detailing business back up and started, and I realized that wasn't what I wanted to do. So I went all in on, helping people. I thought this is like personal training is probably the best avenue for me to use what I have as a skill of helping people and a passion.
Yep.
And then across that journey, Peak Shape was formed as a new brand. And since then, I've brought it outright in the last 3 years.
Yep.
And it's what it was originally intended to do is totally different.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. The idea of it was like to do body transformation as a coaching, but I've really gone all in on I want to change people's lives.
Yep.
And exercise is just a catalyst to do that. My transformation was never about aesthetics. It was about changing who I was, my behavior, growing as a person.
Yep.
And exercise, weight training in particular,
fuels that.
Really fuels that. And on a subconscious level, you're learning skills every time you go to the gym that actually help you in your day-to-day life.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of discipline and routine and
Yep.
How do you bring your past and everything that you've learnt into how you coach and train people now?
Yeah. I have had the opinion for a long time that it doesn't matter what your circumstances are. Like mine might be a bit extreme, but the tools and behaviors that need to be applied to get out of any situation for any member that starts here is the same.
Yep.
We've got to get a foundation of habits down, which is what I started with, like just daily not negotiables I had to do.
Yep.
And then you can move into the education pieces around, okay, well now I understand why I'm doing it and what I'm doing, what my daily not negotiables are each day and each week. Then you can jump into learning about the nutrition and the exercise a bit more.
Yep.
To sort of grow that skill set.
Yep.
I guess, like being that we want to build foundations for people, I can meet them where they're at with like relatability.
Yep.
So like I said before, circumstances don't actually matter to me. It's like, what do you want to achieve? And let's work within where you're at.
Yep.
And then I bring my skills of, all right, this is where I was at mindset wise. I've been here and I'm still in it. Like I'm a dad. I own a business. I have a second job. Like I have to work, like they're in, like I'm working within the same constraints that the people I'm working with are.
Yeah.
So I'm able to relate to them on their level.
Yeah.
And essentially they're all wanting to complete a transformation of their life. And I work through each step of the journey of what I did, not in a like full relatable sense, but the programs are set out that way.
Yeah, right. That makes sense.
And my framing and my language in the gym comes from that lived experience. And that's how I can support them best, because I really do feel what they're going through.
Yep. And they would feel that too, because like the passion and the effort that you show to them, they would feel that coming out, and then they'd make them more relaxed and know that you're not just someone who's studied this and just reading off a book of what to do.
Yeah, I think
It's life
that's
experience.
100% my superpower, that I've been through it.
Yep.
And then I still go through it.
Yep.
You don't have to sit up here. You can be on their level, but still lead.
Yep.
And that's, I think that's probably my superpower. And, through the program, that's what we're doing. I'm just reverse engineering what I did to try and to get other people to grasp onto the same vision I have.
So having said all that, what sort of mindset do you want people to have when they first walk into peak shape?
They need to be open and vulnerable, and ready to get uncomfortable. This is a high challenge, but high support coaching style.
Yep.
I'm always going to challenge them because I want them to get their potential out.
Yep.
But there's always a high level of support to back that up.
Yeah, right.
So they don't even need to have belief in the first part. We can lead them through that in their first 28 days, but they definitely need to be willing to be vulnerable and open, because the more I know, the best I can coach them.
Yeah.
And they just need to be willing to get uncomfortable with that support being there.
Yeah, no, it's good. And what would you say makes your gym, apart from other gyms, standard sort of gyms?
Apart from my own personal story, it's the standards we uphold as a team.
Yep.
And that's based off who we're fighting for. The people we're fighting for are the women in their 40s and 50s who are perimenopausal or menopausal, or who've lost belief in their body. The mums and dads around that sort of 30 to 50 mark that are they haven't prioritised themselves for a long time.
Yep.
And the single mums, we're fighting for them. And the people, and a lot of the people that are in that same period of life where they've almost forgotten themselves.
Yep.
And what really matters to them. And they just don't know where to get started. Like, people who've never been to a gym, the people who they see all these things online, but they just don't know where to start.
Yep.
We're fighting for them, and that's what probably sets us apart in our standards and our approach, that we really are trying to, turn up here every day, wanting to change someone's life every day.
Yep, no, that sounds good. And then that support that you offer just allows them to feel relaxed at the same time as vulnerable, as this is it for me, and let's do it.
Yeah, for a lot of the members here, it's their safe space.
Yep.
I'm really proud that we've created a space like that.
Yep.
That's easily the most rewarding, or probably the thing I'm most proud of.
Yep.
To be honest with you.
Yeah, that's good. That sounds awesome. So how do you uphold those standards and remind yourself, the team, the members of the gym, that that's where you are at here?
Yeah. So this is the challenging thing about owning a gym, or even probably even working in one, is you've got to balance out coaching, and even when you're running it, you've got to balance out, like, it's still a business.
Yeah.
And running it as a business.
Yeah.
But still, you're working with people every day. So we have we have a poster here that we trigger daily, and that's our big mission, and that's 100,000 transformations in 10 years.
Yeah, okay.
And we break that down over days and weeks, like how many actions do we need to take on a daily, weekly basis, just to keep us on track.
Yep.
We have a team theme that we stick to, so that's the vision part of it.
Yep.
And then at least one of our meetings a week always starts with our standards. And it's always a check-in on our standards, like, are we performing in our standards this week? So there's just always front of mind, so it's just triggering it regularly.
Yep. Keeping it regular. Yeah.
Yep.
No, that's good. What would you say someone like doesn't really know you, or just sort of first meets you, what's something that they probably wouldn't know about you or expect from you?
There's two things. The first one I would say is that, and a lot of people are shocked when they first come here, is that I have a second job on weekends, driving trucks, doing the interstate. And that's what I spend between Friday night and Sunday. That's what I'm doing, either all of the weekend or portion of the weekend.
Yeah, right. Wow. Non-stop.
And the other one is that I'm very emotional, and I'm deeply empathetic.
Yeah, okay.
And that's how I lead.
Yep.
With that. Yeah, it's very, like, the minute someone's down in here, I really pull them aside and, like, get on their level and talk to them. And they're like lots of times I definitely don't take it home with me, but like in that moment, I can feel deeply like the emotional pain they're in.
Yeah, right.
And yeah, you would look at me and not think that, like covered in tattoos.
Yeah.
And when I'm here coaching, I'm very serious.
Yep. But it just takes something like that to trigger you.
Yeah,
And
but as soon as someone pulls me aside and needs me, I just completely switch into
yeah, right.
this like emotional.
Yep.
And I feel very deeply when I make a mistake or I haven't lived up to my standard as like a partner or a father or leader, then I feel that deeply.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you sort of structure your day now, and what is it that keeps you focused and grounded and motivated?
Structures, 100% the thing I'm working on most. And that's through getting more people to help me, basically, so that I can push forward with my vision.
Yep.
So there'd be structuring my day still revolves around running classes at this point, and making sure on Mondays that like I know where I need to lead our team. Like what are the things I need from me this week so they can stay on track this week and hit their targets.
Yep.
And then I shift, midweek to like what do the members need this week for me to get them to the end of the week and and so they've all won the week. Kind of my basic structure.
Yep.
And then in between that is working on my personal development, which is so that I'm always growing.
Yeah.
And that way the business is always going to be able to keep growing.
Yep.
And they're probably the main three portions of like what are my main focuses.
Yeah, nice.
Each week.
Yeah, that's good. What are your plans for Peak Shape moving forward?
So we've just recently launched our Live Your Potential program, which this is my scrapping of challenges and all the things I hated about the way the fitness industry is structured from a coaching point of view and a programming point of view. So Live Your Potential is an all year round program built to meet people where they're at, using resources that I've built so that they can lead themselves through and get the deeper education, but building from foundations of habits, then getting into nutrition, and then they can move into things like mindfulness, herbal adaptogens and supplements, and those things you kind of stack your lifestyle with after you've got the foundations in place.
Yeah, right. Yep.
But I now run this, instead of it being in like challenge blocks and people being in like a group of however many that do a challenge, it's now all year round. I don't charge them for it. And I do a group Zoom with them every fortnight. And we work through topics in the books and resources I've given them so that they're getting that coaching with me. But they also get to work together.
Yeah,
On
nice.
Zoom, they get to communicate with each other. And it just creates a bit more community and it creates more ascendancy, I think.
And it makes it feel more togetherness, and it's not like I'm up to week 6 and I haven't hit my goals yet, and then they're stressing about that. It's like this is a long term.
Yeah, and to avoid that overwhelm.
Yep.
Challenges have these start dates and deadlines, and like life happens to people.
Yeah.
This means like they get to do it. They get to get met where they're at. And they get that level of support from me, and then if needed, then we can book one-on-ones together to work through different topics together. But ultimately, if you're going to really create a transformation, you've got to learn how to do it for yourself.
Away from work, the gym, etc., what do you like to do for yourself? Not that it sounds like you got a lot of time, but
yeah, this would be my downfall. I don't do much for myself.
I
go and drive a truck. That's like my right now. That's like my level of freedom. It's a sacrifice I've made to sacrifice, having more time to get time back later. That's my theory. So driving a truck, just get to think. I do enjoy it some of the time, and I don't, like, not all the time, but definitely some of the time. I'm like once every 6 months, I might go and hit a golf ball.
But not always scheduled.
No, definitely not scheduled.
Anyone stuck in a dark cycle like you once were, what would you say to them right now?
The practical thing, because I love practicality, is get a bit of paper, draw a triangle on it, write pain on one side, purpose on the other, and then write discipline underneath. Write what your pain is. Who am I doing this for? Why am I doing it? Like, and then the purpose is
the purpose.
Yeah, purpose is your vision. Like, we're in this pain. This is the purpose. What are the disciplines I need to have to get away from that pain and move closer to that purpose?
Yeah, right.
Do that little activity, and then see what comes from it.
Yep. That's a visual for them.
Yeah.
And as they're writing it down, the emotions be hitting them.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
then that's when they start pushing to the purpose and really want that purpose.
Yeah.
And then they need to realize the discipline's got to come with it.
Yeah, and if it might only be one discipline, it might be 5, but just pick the most priority one.
Yep.
And go and find someone or something that can help you with that discipline.
Yep. If you could sit down with your younger self, what would you tell him?
Jesus. Stop. Fuck. Stop doing things just because other people will like you for it.
Mm-hmm.
And think about who you're hurting.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely had a mindset that like, oh, it's only me getting in trouble. It's only my life being impacted. Fuck, why does it matter?
Yep.
But that's probably not true. And definitely in my later 20s, that wasn't true because, the police are rocking up at mum's house. They're rocking up at my, other family member's house looking for me. So it's actually starting to impact other people. And that was kind of lost on me for quite a while.
Yep.
Pretty much up until I escaped, I didn't realize that, oh, fuck, there's other people getting impacted by this. So, yeah, stop and think about other people and stop doing things for other people to like you and to impress people.
Yeah, right. No, that's awesome. All right, well, thanks a lot for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good talk and all the best with it.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.